Now I'm going to be working on this table, and I also have a leaf for it too. And when I got this table, it already had this huge splotch on it and stuff, and all this other markings, but then we've also gotten more on it, and it just really needs to be refinished. And so there's also some scuffs. So I'm hoping that it looks good when I'm all through with it. We'll see. Anyways, I'm gonna do that. So this is about all that I've gotten with one thing of sandpaper, and I have all this to do too. So I'm using 60 grit. So anyways, it's doing a pretty good job. I really like the color of the wood. I think it's going to be really pretty. I just have to decide if I want, what kind of a finish I want to do on it, and if I want to stain it or not. I'm not really sure. And I still have to do all the legs. After about like 6 hours of sanding, I'm finally done sanding this. And the legs look really nice. And I couldn't get into here with just sanding it, of course. But I'm just gonna leave it like that. I'm going to stain it with tea, and I left the sides a little bit more unsanded just because I thought it gave it kind of a bit of a rustic kind of look, and I really liked how some of the stain had soaked in really well. But I also polished these off pretty good, so they're nice and smooth with a really fine grit. And so next is to stain it. So now I have a big old thing of tea that I just set in the sun since it's really hot, and to make some tea that I'm just going to put a sock in there, an old sock, and I'm just going to wipe down the table with some tea. That way darkens up the edges a little bit, especially because this isn't all just like, this is like some sort of composite or something with a layer of wood on top. So, and then this will dry, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's dry. Here's with one coat on this side and none on this side. So you can see that the top has turned a lot more red. It's kind of deepened up its red tones, but the sides haven't at all. I mean, what the sides actually have done, maybe you can see over here a little better, is you've just been able to see the grain of the wood a little better, which is what I was wanting it to do. And so the sides and underneath look perfect. This is exactly how I wanted it to be, but the top isn't. The top is just so much different, and then of course it's not. It's just been compressed wood on the sides, so it's not exactly what I was wanting it to turn out like. But I love this part. This part is beautiful, and I just really like it where the stain has darkened it up a little bit in here previously, and then now I've gone through with more stain, with the tea stain, and it just looks so pretty. I love the sides. So if the top had turned out that way, then I would be done, and well, I'd put a finish on it. But now I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, I could paint the top, but I really don't want to do that because I don't like the look of wood and painted tables, so I don't know. I'll probably have to see. Maybe I'll use some other kind of stain on it, but I have to think about it. Okay, you guys, so this table took me a while to do, but it's taken me a lot more days to decide what finish to do. I wanted to do a natural finish, but I also want something that would last, kind of like, what I really needed was something to keep it from getting stained, because we wanted the table to look really natural, and I didn't know what the heck to do, because if I want something really durable, then everyone was like, do polyurethane, but that yellow stuff. And so then apparently the only other option would be like polyacrylic, but there's already something like that on this table, and that's what was causing the problems. That's what was like, it was really water sensitive. It was, you saw that it was just had all these big old spots everywhere, and from anything hot or any type of condensation at all. Like, it was just really bad. It already came with to us like that. We just added to it over the years. So I wanted to do something where it would protect it from that. I didn't have to worry about resanding it all the time. I'm not really concerned about a lot of wear and tear necessarily. This is a kitchen table, but where we do crafts or my husband like solders computer things and stuff, those are in other rooms now. So I don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. For like 2 years I've been trying to decide on what to do, but now that we have other rooms for doing those kinds of things, I can do pretty much whatever I want. So that leaves pretty much anything natural, but I couldn't decide on whether I wanted to do tung oil or linseed oil or a hemp sealer, or if I just wanted to do wax or just do oil, like regular, I don't know, flax oil or something. So I just decided, you know what, I am going to just do some tung oil, because we'd done tung oil before for outdoor furniture, and it lasted about like a season. So I thought that would last a lot longer inside, of course. But I was like, I went to the store, and it has all this toxic stuff in it when you buy it from the store. You can buy plain old tung oil that doesn't have all the additive stuff, but also I saw that it doesn't necessarily work as good. Like, I might as well just be using like flaxseed oil or linseed oil or something, but I don't really know. So I went to the store and I was like looking at it, because I'm like, okay, there's tung oil and there's Danish oil, and then there's this like Australian finishing oil, but they all had like petrochemicals in them and stuff. So it's like, maybe this is not the right thing to be using on my kitchen table. And I was also looking at the finishing waxes, and of course they had one that had natural carnauba wax in it, but there's no other ingredients. So like, well, I can make my own finishing wax. And this lady came up to me and told me that the wax would pretty much be just as durable, like as long as I keep reapplying it and stuff, as the tung oil and stuff, which needs to be kept reapplied anyways. So I decided, I have oil and I have beeswax at home, so I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna make that. So I'm going to make that right about now. I have to wash my pan first, and then I'm gonna make it, and I'll have some wax, and then maybe about once a month or whatever, I'll just stuff some more on, and I'll keep it healthy and happy. And another reason why I kind of wanted to do that was, I wanted to keep this natural, because I don't know what stain and stuff is going to do to the rest of this wood, because only some of it is all wood. The other of it is just compressed sawdust. So I just don't want to do anything to make it look really weird. So like, if I did a natural stain, sorry, I keep bumping my table. If I do anything other than just like the tea stain, I think it might be a little too crazy difference between the two. So anyways, I'm gonna try this and we'll see how it works. And if it works good, then I will let you know, because there aren't really any videos that I could find about using a natural wax. And if it doesn't work good, I might make a separate video just all about it eventually. So that way it's easy to find, you know? Okay, so I have about 30 grams of beeswax in here and 80 grams of coconut oil. I'm gonna see, thinking I'm gonna add like one more spoonful of the coconut oil. I was thinking that was gonna be not quite hard enough, but I think I need to do about 10 more grams at least. So I'm gonna do one more big spoonful. Okay, now there's about 30 more grams of coconut oil in there. I decided to go with coconut oil because I was thinking it would, like, people use olive oil a lot. That doesn't have a very long shelf life compared to coconut oil, and it's also green. I didn't want anything to really color my my polishes at all. I wanted to be as clear as possible, the only color being the beeswax. This is a bamboo cutting board. It's like my little one, and I go through and I polish, or I oil my cutting boards usually with like sunflower or safflower oil or something. or sometimes coconut oil, but not usually. But I decided to try it today with this, with my beeswax polish. And look at the difference. This is before and this is after. I have a little bit of stain stuff on it, of course, some metal. Metal on there, but look how pretty that is comparatively. But this is one coat on here, and it's with it hot and it's soaked in. And because when you do it hot, it'll penetrate the wood deeper, and so you can do that if you want to. And anyways, it's already soaking in even more, and it's drying. You can kind of see how it's already drying a little bit. Over here it's not as dry. I don't know if you can tell the difference, but it's drying out already, and the finish on it is a little waxy, and oh, it's perfect. I think like one more coat of this, like this is perfect for my cutting board, but like for the table I want to do a couple of coats. So to buff this in, here's where I'm already started, and here's where I haven't started. I don't know if you can tell the difference on the sides where it's lighter, because this is like the sawdust compressed, and then the regular kind of really thin wood top. How it looks different, but so I'll show you this in the morning too, how it looks. I'll leave a little patch undone probably, but I'm just taking it with it a little hardened and just buffing it in. I always use a paper towel. People are like, use all this special cloths or whatever, and some people use like really fine steel wool for buffing in waxes and stuff, but I don't understand that. So I just use a paper towel because it works really well. I don't know, it just does. And like I'll use a part that's not as saturated if I need to take off some of it, like I'll go like that, and then I'll go back over and, you know, just keep buffing away. It's looking really glossy and shiny. But yeah. Okay, so it's still the evening. Wow, this is looking way more red on camera than it actually is. So there's this compared to this. See how it's all shiny and happy. So after I put it all on with the paper towel, what I'm doing now is I'm taking just an old cloth. This is made out of hemp, so it doesn't have any lint coming from it. So I just buff it in, and then I go with the grain of the wood. So that way, if there's any bits left, then I got it. And see, okay, so this is, I should have showed you there. So see how shiny this is and how it's just a little streaky compared to this. See the difference? So, and the reason why you need to reapply the wax, for one thing, is to keep the water from beading on the tops. That way, like your kid spills grape juice or something, it doesn't soak into this, and it will bead on the top, any of your liquid. But also it polishes it, and it also just keeps the wood kind of more moist. It doesn't dry out and crack as easily. Okay, so I want to show you on the legs here before it gets too terribly dark. This is where it's polished, and this is where it isn't. And oh, it's pretty. I mean, I like Just love the look of the raw wood for some reason, but I don't know how to make it to where, you know, I don't have to worry about it on my dining table. So just polishing it, and you can see the difference between this wood and this wood is like, it's not too bad now that this part's getting polished and this part's kind of drying. But anyways, my husband likes the color of the redder wood, and I like the color of the lighter wood more, so I guess we got the best of both worlds, kind of. But anyways, that's my two-tone table now. But I love the polish. It smells so good. Now it's solidified, and it smells really good. It doesn't smell like coconut. It doesn't smell like beeswax. It smells like this really just rich, amazing mixture, kind of like a pina colada-ish, but really light, like a really light smelling pina colada, if that makes any sense. It's not like overpoweringly strong at all. And so, oh, here, there, now you don't have to see my paper towel. Looks really gross. But anyways, I'll show you what that looks like in the morning. So my table looks so pretty now. I absolutely love it. It's such a nice finish. It's very smooth, and the water beads up on it really well, and it's perfect. It's still it's not super glossy. I mean, I could do more coats, but it's perfect. I love it so much. Over here in the light, you can see the difference between the lighter wood and the red wood, the more red wood. I don't know what kind of wood these are because I'm not a wood expert, but if you have a lighter wood, you can see more of what it will look like, and you have redder wood, just brings out more of a, you know, it just brings out more of the color, which is fine. I mean, if you want something that's going to be like a really white wood still, then I mean, you'd have to have like bleached wood anyways, so. But yeah, it's really pretty. I love how it turned out so much. Oh, and these chairs, by the way, I had painted quite a while ago, like sometime this last year, because the backs of them and stuff, the finish on them was getting really sticky, especially like you're outside working and you come to sit down and like your back sticks to the back. It was just awful. And so I just decided to paint them with chalk paint, and then I finally finished them last week with Mod Podge, and it works pretty good. It cleans up really well. I had gotten some polyacrylic to do on them, but I decided that I wasn't going to do that because I didn't want to take them outside and have them air out for a couple days. And this way it's non-toxic from the get-go.
I thought that before I finish editing this video, I should go ahead and put in a little bit where I'm telling you how this has, the wax has worked out for me for the last 2.5-ish weeks, I think is about how long it's been. It's been working out pretty good for my kitchen table. We have actually been using this a little bit more than we were. Like my husband's been fixing a couple phones on it, and I've repotted some plants on it, and we've done a couple of projects on it, even though we have other project areas. It's just we have other projects that are going on in those project areas, and we needed more space for our quick projects, you know. Anyways, it's been holding up really good. I did get a little bit of a, like, it got a little scuffed on the top in one spot, but I got some more wax out and I buffed it, and it looks just great. And I went ahead and rebuffed the whole table with some wax again this last week, and I mean, it still looks really good. I don't have any complaints so far. I haven't had any problems with it. I clean my kitchen table, you know, out more than once a week anyways, because I mean, it's a kitchen table, you have to clean it off. So just like, you know, once a week after I've wiped it down, I just wipe it down with some wax. So it's not really any more work necessarily, it's just like a little tiny bit, and I just buff it in, and it doesn't take very long. I don't ever, once I've buffed it in, like once I buffed on one side, then I move the stuff from the other side. If I have a tray in the middle with with salt and pepper and stuff, move that to the other side, and then I buff the one side, and I'll oil it, do the wax on it, and then I buff it in. And after it's buffed in, I don't have to worry about not setting anything on there. It doesn't need to like cure after that. It's just fine. You don't have to wait 24 hours or anything, or a certain amount of time. You just buff it in, and then you can go ahead and set stuff back on it. So it's not an inconvenience, and it just makes it look shiny, and it gets rid of any kinds of scuffs that you've got on it. As far as liquids go, we've only really gotten water spilled on it because we don't drink like a lot of colored things. Oh, I guess I did have some cucumber juice and something green on it. It was either chlorophyll or some cucumber juice, but that didn't do anything. So it repels the water really, really well. I'm extremely amazed with how good this wax worked. I didn't think it would work that good, but I really am pleased, very pleased with it. The thing that I thought maybe I should mention though, that the border around it, I'll show you. This part where I didn't get all this sanded off, I could have sanded this off just fine. I just chose not to because, well, I kind of think that this makes it look more finished rather than, because this is just compressed board with the veneer. I thought that this made it look a little bit more finished without me having to do something extra special. Because like even before I even finished this table, like refinished it, sanded it and everything, you could still see that. It's just they had a stain on it that goes over all of it and makes it all one color. Even though it evened it all out and made it one color, I could still see the compressed board. Like I could see that. I'm like, is that really like, did they just have it where you can see it like that? Is that really? And sure enough, after I sanded it, it was. So I was just like, they didn't even try to hide that. They just were like, let's slap some stain on it and it'll be just fine, which I guess it was. And so I figure, why not just do the same thing myself? Just don't put a stain on it. Because I just didn't want to use anything toxic, because why would I want to? Because like when I do, like whenever I use like polyacrylic or something, then I have to leave that thing outside for a couple of days, and it just, because it smells so bad. And then I'm bringing it inside. I'm like, I know I can't smell it, but I know that's still not that great. So I just, you know, it's just nice to not have to use something that's toxic when you know that you don't need to. So that's kind of why I went around this route. And I don't know I don't know how other kinds of stains would react to the different kinds of board and the different wood. So I didn't really want to incur any problems with that. So if I wanted to though get rid of that part, the edge part, I could have, like I had this thought that it's like, what if I just kind of carved it out and then sanded it a little smooth? Like, would that be kind of cool? Because then it might look a little bit more rough, like handmade. So I thought that might be kind of a cool idea. But then of course I could have just used a sanding block kind of thing, put it on the edge and just sanded around it on the angle. And but I like the edging, and I was kind of like done sanding. It took so long. The top was so hard. It was so tough to like sand through. It took forever. But and my sander is actually like, this is only, I mean, the second big project that I've used it for, so it's not like an old sander. So if you like this video, then please do like it and let me know. And if you want to see more videos that I've done, I do like health related topics, and I do DIYs, and I've done like health related topics I do will be, sometimes will consist of like natural ways to put on makeup, or natural makeup that I like to do, or natural product things, or how to make kefir and kefir tips, or you know, yada yada, cool things. I also do plant videos. I do indoor plants and outdoor plants, and yeah, some DIYs. Anyways, thank you guys for stopping by and watching this video. I hope you have a really great week. Bye!